Good morning. Good morning from Melbourne, Australia. Good evening to friends in North America, and hello to anyone watching on replay. My name is Nancy Hetker. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Melbourne, Australia, and I welcome you to join me. I'm glad you found me. I know that the time changed for some viewers because our clocks here in Australia changed to standard time over the weekend. Hello, Nikki and Renata. Thanks for joining me. When you pop on, say hello so I know you're there. Yesterday was a red letter day because I got my copy of the new annual catalog. Yay! I've been looking at it online on PDF form, but it's never the same as having it actually in your hot little hands, and it's very nice. If you are in Australia and you don't have a demonstrator and would like to get your hands on a copy, let me know. Send me a message and I will arrange for that to happen for you. Yeah, I can't show you inside. Sorry. It goes live May 4th. You can do a pre-order from it if you're a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and if you'd like to do that in Australia, I can help you with that too. But otherwise, I will give you little sneak peeks as I can. I was hoping to be able to do that today, but I may pop back on a little bit later this week. I think I have my pre-order coming. Australia Post thinks it's coming tomorrow, so if that's true, either tomorrow or Friday I may pop on and show you what I've got. Mostly it's the new in colors, but I did buy one suite to get started with. So hello, Roseanne. Thanks for joining me. Let's get started today. Yeah, I'm going to take mine to get bound too. I just haven't had a chance to yet because it just arrived yesterday. So today I'm going to show you how to make these cards. I cased the design from Julie Gilson, but last September I gave a kit to make these to the people who subscribed to my 2020-2022 in color club, and I'm considering offering that again this year with the new in colors. If you're in Australia, and I do offer it, you can get word on that if you are subscribed to my email list or my Nancy's Nifty Notemakers Facebook group. And I will try to remember to put links in for those subscriptions. Hi Sharon, thanks for joining me. So I like to do little things for people who join my clubs. You get a share of all of the colors each month. It's a way to invest in all of the colors and all of their accessories without having to be able to spread it out over time and have stuff. So, hello Joyce, thanks for joining me. So these, we're going to start with some sheets of this is actually retiring. They're coming out with new patterns with the new catalog. This is the in color paper stack. And I am going to trim them down here. So remember how much, and I think I may be able to do all three at once. Let's see here. So I have this tutorial printout so I can remember 9.5. And I no longer have all 5 of the in colors, so we're just making 3 of them today. I am completely out of cinnamon cider and Misty Moonlight in this paper pack, which is just fine. We will do just fine making 3 of them. I'm trying to get my brain to wake up here today. It is 10 o'clock. I have had my coffee, but Noah has decided to regress on his sleeping, so I've been waking up like around 1:30 each morning to let him out. There we go. Which is not fun. So I did pre-cut some other pieces for this, so let's do a little bit of gluing to start with. Oh, come on. It was working earlier, really. There we go. Did everybody have a good Easter? Ours was pretty quiet, although I made an Easter brunch. I don't know if you saw on my personal Facebook page. You all are welcome to do a friend request over there if we're not friends already. I had made some plum and blueberry fruit compote in the oven, as I have been doing with our fruit share throughout the summer. And this batch, I forgot to set a timer, and it went a little bit long, so it got a little jammy, a little thicker, a little more well cooked than usual. And I thought, ooh, that would make a really good like Danish filling. So I took my favorite cinnamon roll recipe, and instead of putting cinnamon sugar and butter in the center, I used this jammy fruit compote, and it was really good. Really, really good, I have to say. Rice ricotta pie. That one I haven't heard of. I've heard of like ricotta cheesecake, but I haven't heard of rice ricotta pie. But it's probably an Italian thing that I'm just not familiar with. I did see it was, what, International Spaghetti Carbonara Day on the 6th. I made carbonara too recently to redo it so soon. Okay, so there are my basic card fronts. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut out. We're using this stitched leaves that coordinates with the Love of Leaves stamp set. And so we're going to cut this leaf out of these panels. So apologies in advance if this does a lot of camera shaking. And I will go find my other clear plate. I really like the details these dies give. See here in a moment, once I get it out. So the leaf that gets cut has stitched veins in it, and then the part that's left behind has a stitched outline, which is very fun. And this is actually a two-piece die, and I've just put a piece of sticky tape. It's actually the removable sticky tape, I believe, to hold them together, so I don't have to mess with positioning them each time I use them. You know, I can still pull them apart and use them separately if I want to, no problem. But since most of the time I'm cutting them out together, it's just easier to do that. So I just need to peel that off. And we got one more to go. If you find that your stitch dies are really difficult to remove from the paper, again, I haven't tried it with baking paper or parchment paper, but wax paper, if you can find it. Here in Australia, I think you have to go to some of the online craft stores to find it easily. In the US, of course, you can get it in almost any supermarket. If you run it through with a piece of wax paper in between the cardstock and the die, it lubricates those tines of the die, and for several cuts after that, the paper will just slide right off. It's very easy. I'm going to do that on this the next time I use it, if I remember. Okay, so those are finished. And then we're going to take these bigger panels that we cut out, and we're going to run them through with the subtle embossing folder. Now, the subtle embossing folder is retiring. So if you're watching this after it's retired and you don't own it, I recommend the Tasteful Texture embossing folder as a replacement. We need that clear plate on top. This is an old style. I bought mine when it was still made by Sizzix. So instead of using the dark colored plate as you would with a 3D embossing folder, mine's the old style one that just uses one clear plate, which is why I have a label on it, so I don't have to figure it out each time. You may notice, you may not notice, I am putting my embossing folder through with the hinged side first. That minimizes the pressure on the hinge and will keep your embossing folder from splitting open. Okay, so those are now done. We can get rid of this. Okay, what's next? So these are going to go onto the card fronts. Okay, and these are just going to glue on. I'm going to just center those up in there, I hope. Which way? It's kind of doesn't matter, because the subtle is pretty much, what's the word I'm looking for today? The same on both sides. Wow, brain not working. Not synonymous, that's words. Okay, there's that. And now these go on with dimensionals. Let's grab some little ones. Yeah, I probably don't need this many, but you know. Taking a page out of Bruno Bertucci's book. He's famous for using way more dimensionals than most people would. Okay. So we're just offsetting these on here. Now, I am very happy that this Love of Leaves bundle is carrying over in the new catalog, because I think it's really nice and fun to work with. Okay, I'm going to set those aside for a minute. We're going to do a little sentiment. Out of this Love of Leaves, you've got a little hello. And these are just strips of basic white that I cut off when I was trimming the other white pieces, so that's simple and easy. There's the hello. The stamp sets, stamp pads. Chamois is definitely on the wet side. I'm leaving lots of space because I want to be able to trim these down. Set those aside, and then I'm also going to stamp some on the inside panels. I'm going to pull in my foam mat. Booby trap there. I'm going to be using, it's the same image, it's just in the stamp, and it's one of these distinctive stamps with a lot of watercolory texture. So we're going to stamp that one up here. those are going to go on the inside of the card. Close up the Just Jade. Magenta Madness. And Bumblebee. You all still with me? Being very quiet. Okay, let's finish these off. Go ahead and put these in. So those of you who are demos, did you place a pre-order? Yeah, I like these cards because I think, you know, depending on the color, if that matters to some people, they're good for anybody and they're good for almost any occasion. So there's that, and now we're going to finish these off. When I cut down the, let's see if that worked out. It did, yay. When I cut down the fronts here, we were left with these strips off the bottom, and that is what I'm going to use to mat the sentiments. So let's see if I actually had any measurements on the sentiments. I did not. So let's just make one up. We'll call that 4 centimeters. And so we'll make this, what, 4.5 centimeters? Let's see how that does. Yeah, it could be just a titch smaller than that, so we'll call it 4.25 centimeters. There we go. So this one will cut off right there, and then we'll make it 4 and 4.25. Here, come here. And so that was all from scrap for these little sentiments. We will glue these on here. Get brain and fingers working. And on these, you can't see a lot of the mat, but I did just flip over to use the reverse side. So on the fronts, on these we're using the wood grain, and on the back I'm using the words. I don't know how much of that detail you can see on the video. Oh yeah, you can see it. And it just gives a little visual texture. And I'm just using 3 little drops of glue. That's all it takes. And then before I attach them, I'm going to add these in color enamel dots with my take your pick tool. Just slide it off and add it on. And again, with the mini dimensionals. One, two, three, and we've got more. I'm going to put a bow on each leaf. May have cut that a little too short here. Let's see. Yep. Wow, when things decide to get challenging, they go all out. Bows are not usually a challenge for me. Okay. Two. There we go. Just had to limber up the fingers, I guess. Which way are you gonna go? And 3. Get some glue dots. Put the knot of the bow on the glue dot. Pinch it off the backing. Put it where I want it. one. Two. And of course you can do the same layout and just swap out your designer series paper for whatever you like. You can even do it instead of designer series paper, you could do it with cardstock and just use a different texture on the, you know, give it a little bit of texture or stamp over it to make a little bit of pattern. Okay, and now a few final enamel dots, and these will be finished. One there. One there. And there we go. There are 3 in color Lovely Leaves cards. I hope you like those. Yeah, I may go ahead and make this tutorial available to folks. Check my blog post tomorrow. See what I put up there. Because, yeah, I like this one. I find it fun and easy, and I hope you guys liked it. Join me back here again next week. Same time, same place. We've got, months and months and months before anyone's changing clocks, I believe. It's always available on replay and to see on my blog. What else did I want to tell you about? Oh, social crafting on Zoom is next week. It is, let me double check here. Social crafting. It's 10 a.m. Tuesday the 13th of April, Australian Eastern Standard Time, which means it's Monday evening in North America. And on my Nancy's Nifty Notes classes and events page, there is a link to the Zoom Zoom session, and also I think a link to double check what time that is where you are. So I hope you'll join me for that. You don't have to have a project that you're working on, but it's fun to share. It doesn't have to be a paper crafting project either. And yeah, see you again online, and I will probably pop on tomorrow or Friday and show you what I got in my pre-order. So, okay, have a great rest of your week, and I will see you again. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.